In the design and planning of our pursuit of revenue performance management, we started with a market or customer view and sought to answer the question, what is the trapped revenue or the trapped and EBITDA that our customers and indeed the market is likely experiencing? And through a series of analyses and consultations with seers and consultants in the industry, we really zeroed in on about 6 key drivers or key dimensions of impact. Quite frankly, there's probably 20 plus when you really scratch the surface, but there were really 6 that we zeroed in on. The first one is revenue leakage, and that is really in the form of money that's slipped through the cracks. Revenues that have slipped through the cracks, that's happened because you have conflicting data in different systems. You have fat fingering errors that happen on data entry. You have small hiccups in the process. And as we dug into that and quantified it, we realized that some firms could be experiencing as much as 5%, and many are experiencing 2% impact on their revenues just in the form of leakage in their revenue life cycle. The second is price execution. Not surprising, this is an area of fascination for me, given my history in exploring this. And this is perhaps the area where we've been able to really quantify in extremely precise fashion the opportunity for most firms. That ranges from 10 to 15% revenue growth opportunity trapped in the existing revenue streams of most wealth managers. That's a profound opportunity to improve the top line. It's a profound opportunity to impact the performance of the practices of financial advisors. And what's most fascinating about it is most customers, when asked, the end clients of the financial advisors, when asked, don't have any concern about the relationship between the value their advisor provides and the pricing that they are paying. In fact, when they're approached with a discussion around price, most are willing to accept an improvement in that price. So how do we crack that code and get firms an opportunity to recapture that 10 to 15% was the second impact opportunity we are targeting. The third is more effective commercialization beyond pricing, but more effective commercialization of advisor practices. How do advisors conduct themselves more effectively? How do they ensure that the means with which they package and process and deliver their expertise to the market is as efficient as possible and maximizes the right value proposition for the customer segments that they're pursuing? That is a surprisingly high impact area, and getting more transparency and more information and indeed more intelligence in front of advisors and firms to help them prioritize the investments that can be targeted to helping financial advisors and their teams do that is critical. The fourth is data and technology efficiency. Most wealth management firms, most asset management firms have a collection of point solutions, usually loosely connected, that may help them manage their revenue lifecycle. Yes, there's different custodial systems. Yes, there's an HRMS system in the mix. I'm talking about the systems that help manage the revenue lifecycle. And that disconnected set of point solutions is a contributor to impairment of speed to pursuing opportunities. It's an impairment in the cost of maintaining and managing the technology footprint. And I'm not saying you need to go best of breed to solve all of that. Oops, that's not right. Sorry. I'm not challenging that there are some excellent best of breed solutions for parts of that life cycle. What I am focused on in unlocking that data and technology efficiency is ensuring that that revenue lifecycle can be seen and managed in a wholesome or fulsome sense across from the initiation of the revenue all the way through to the distribution of the spoils. The fifth area of impact is revenue operations efficiency. It is the case that perhaps the most poorly invested in area for most wealth management firms and many asset management firms is the tooling and processes that the organization and its people use to manage that life cycle. Solving for improvement in that area on a cost-effective basis, where we are able to help firms knit that together in a way that is seamless, has context through the entire life cycle, and indeed improves speed, efficiency, and accuracy, has impact in many ways, including shortening time to collect on revenues and more accurate distributions. All of that has a obvious impact on EBITDA. And the final area of impact that we really zeroed in on was governance or confidence in government. Governance might be the best way to describe that. And what that is perhaps best translated to is ensuring that every part of that life cycle can confidently adhere to financial reporting expectations, internal and external, audit expectations, and indeed all of the regulatory considerations that come with the responsibility of operating in a heavily regulated marketplace.